Did you know that Valve can make the price of your favorite skin skyrocket or crash without even changing a single thing about it? Today, we are going to be diving into how Valve quietly shapes the CS2 skin economy by indirectly manipulating supply, demand, and price trends within the market. We'll also be going over some ways you might be able to spot Valve's moves before everyone else, giving you a slight advantage in the market. So let's get into the video. And just before we get started here, I wanted to let you guys know I now have my own Discord community where I'm in there helping you guys with skins, playing games with you guys, and we also do very frequent giveaways. So if you'd like to join, the link is in the description down below. So Valve does not directly set the prices of the skins in the market because it is a completely player-based market, but they do control the ecosystem that affects the prices of these skins. A good example of this is when Valve shifts the entire supply and demand of the market by adding new cases or items. The items removed are instantly going to shift into a depleting supply in the market, which leads to a higher demand and in turn a higher price. This usually happens with cases in the active drop pool either being removed or shifted to the rare drop pool. A good example of this is when Valve recently removed the fracture case from the active drop pool and put it into the rare drop pool, replacing it with the new Genesis terminal. This shift in the market has led to this case being almost double what it was before it was removed, but this kind of shift in the market always comes with a very big price spike in the beginning, where a lot of people are racing to try to buy up these cases before the price gets too high to maybe make some money off of it, but most people end up buying right at the peak of the price and it ends up falling a lot after that. So I recommend to not buy these kind of cases right when the update hits. Instead, I would look for cases that have been in the active drop pool for a long time that have a higher chance of being replaced or shifted when a new item drops, and buy these cases while they're still at a steady price so that when they do get removed and the price spikes due to all the hype around it, you can sell for a great profit. Bouncing off of how Valve controls the case market, they also control the market of the sticker capsules, and more specifically, the major sticker capsules. With every CS2 major that comes around, a new set of major sticker capsules comes around with it, including the team logos and players. These sticker capsules are sold in the CS2 shop when the major comes around, which means every time you buy one, a new one is generated, which means there is an infinite supply of them. At some point after the major, Valve discontinues these sticker capsules in the shop and leaves it completely to the player-based market. This means as soon as they're taken out of the shop, the supply is just constantly depleting, which in turn leads to a higher price over time. But this is not always true. A lot of CS2 majors in recent times have had way too many people buying these capsules up, so when the time comes to sell them, the market is way oversaturated with them and no one can make a profit. So my personal recommendation when it comes to investing in new major sticker capsules is to probably stay away from it for the most part. I just think it's pretty uncertain on how they can do in the market, and with the new high player base, I think there's just going to be way too much saturation. The next thing I want to talk about here is how when Valve does affect the price of a case, all the skins in that case are going to be affected as well. The price of cases in CS2 generally correlate to the price of the skins in the case, which means if the case rises in price, most of the skins in the case are going to rise with it. This is really easy to see with some of the old discontinued cases that have gone up in price over the years. A lot of the skins in these cases aren't the greatest most of the time, but they're going to be really expensive just because the case itself is super expensive to open. Since the case has been discontinued, this means the supply of it is just constantly depleting and the skins in the case follow the exact same trend. The reason the supply of these skins fall over time is because of trade-ups. Since there are no more cases being made, that means there is going to be a very limited amount of these cases that can drop these skins, and after a long period of time, the supply of these skins are going to drop heavily, which in turn usually leads to a higher price for the skin, especially if it's a desired skin. So my recommendation for investing in these kind of skins would be to find a good desirable skin in a discontinued or soon to be discontinued collection and focus on the trade up inputs for these desirable skins in these discontinued collections. If you are holding the trade up inputs for the desirable skin in the discontinued collection, that means there are going to be a constant depleting supply of these skins, which in turn is going to lead to a higher price in time. So if you're looking at picking up some new skins for your CS2 inventory, I highly recommend looking at some of the old discontinued collections, and you might even be able to make some money along the way. The next thing and the last thing that I want to talk about here is probably one of the most important things in this video, and that is spotting and predicting Valve's updates to CS2. Most of the time when Valve does decide to release an update for CS2, it has either a positive effect on the market or a negative effect on the market. A lot of the more recent updates have been to the armory when they're adding new stuff and taking away old stuff. With this new update, we have seen some of the old stuff that's been removed start going up in price over time, and we are also seeing some of the new items come in, which are probably in the future going to follow a very similar pattern to the old items. This is a very good and recent example of how one update can really affect prices of some of the items in the market. If you're roughly able to predict around the time Valve might drop a new update, you can have a very good advantage over some other players in the CS2 market. A good thing to know about these updates is that Valve spaces the updates out quite a bit, so if it's been a while since we had the last update and you think a new one might be coming soon, now's the time to take action. Another way, and probably a much better way to predict when Valve might drop an update, is just by keeping up in the CS scene. A lot of times updates leak before they even get announced, and this can be a very good way of knowing what's coming to the game before it actually does. For example, if there's a leak going around that there might be an update soon that would remove something or add something new to the game, it could be a good time to move some money around in the market and maybe make some money in long term. Thank you guys so much for watching to the end of this video. If any of the information in this video helped you, let me know down in the comments. I always love reading the comments. It's always my favorite part about making these videos. And just let me know if you guys have any future video ideas. I'd love to hear them. And don't forget to join the Discord in the description down below. I always love seeing new faces there. I love interacting with you guys. It's one of my favorite parts about doing this channel as well. But yeah, that's about it. Take care.